Hey guys, so I'm building in public. I'm growing a newsletter. I'm on month 13, and I had a little breakthrough, and I want to share with you how I did it. I'm not business savvy or monetization and marketing savvy, so any little breakthrough for me is like kind of a big deal. I'm an independent creator. I'm not making much money. So little breakthroughs is like what I live for, right? It's like what makes my week. So what happened to me? I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to show you my Twitter. So let me just bring down. So on Twitter, what I ended up doing is I created a list of the top 85 newsletters in my niche, which happens to be AI and emerging tech. So I literally spent the entire day, and my Twitter account is super small. Look at this. I only have 1,000 followers. Actually, this is after my campaign. So my campaign drew in a lot of shares because I included all these newsletters and their Twitter handles. So even if just two of them retweeted the tweet, they have such bigger followings than I do, right? And think about it, 85 newsletters in my niche. There's no such list on the internet in this space. So the engagement wasn't incredible, okay? It wasn't mind-blowing. 18.5 thousand views, which is a lot for me. I'm a small account on Twitter. 230 followers it's generated, about 900 profile visits. But the important part is what has it done for my newsletter? So if I go into my newsletter, you'll see here, I did it around January 29th, right? So my annual recurring revenue was 17,000 at that point. And it's gone up to 18,650 in a very short period. So how did that actually work? Here, you can see the bump here. So this is my news subscribers per day, right? So it's like 100, maybe a little bit more. But when I did this campaign, it went from 10,879 immediately to 11,200. So what are we looking at? We're looking at about an increase of 300 new followers, and that injection had a conversion rate of free to paid that's higher than my baseline, right? So because I listed these 85 newsletters with their Twitter handles, some of them were retweeted, it boosts my social proof and credibility, right? So you want your authority in your thought leadership category to be as high as possible. I mean, I don't have an AI engineering background or anything like that, right? I'm just a writer, I'm just a blogger. So I have to build credibility in different ways. So building out a newsletter is one of those ways I've chosen to do. And it's also a monetization opportunity, right? So with the paid subscriptions, I'm up to almost 19,000 in annual recurring revenue. And then I can make additional revenue through paid sponsored ads and LinkedIn campaign influencer deals and all sorts of other things that I'm exploring, right? So for instance, I haven't made much money in my first year as a newsletter, but then in January, I've made around 5,000 Canadian dollars, all told with all my different newsletters, right? So the business is starting to compound, it's starting to scale, and campaigns like this that I just did on Twitter show a little bit of proof of product market fit, right? There's a lot of enthusiasm for my niche with ChatGPT and all these AI generative tools. So I didn't even have a big Twitter account, right? I'm not even a big newsletter. I'm just at 10,000 followers. So even a small newsletter like me can make a little breakthrough and it can change the entire trajectory of my business, right? So this tweet, I pinned it on my profile, and it's just, you see, even by the time I was talking to you, there's been more detail expands because there's nothing like it, right? No one else took the time to go through 85 different newsletters in the space and tagging them all. So here I tag the first 7 and it just continues 8 to 13 and so forth. And it's not like the tweet has gotten that much engagement, right? Okay, so this guy referred me a ton of traffic. Sebastian, he retweeted it, and he happens to have 150,000 Twitter followers. Why is that? Well, he's a published author on machine learning. So all it takes is maybe one big influencer, and you have yourself a campaign for your newsletter growth. And I just want to share that. It took me an entire day, but it gave me another $1,000 in annual recurring revenue, essentially. So it was really worth it. And I'm not marketing savvy, right? I'm more of a blogger, right? So this wasn't something, I didn't use ads or I didn't use anything special. I just happened to make a campaign because I really respect all these people who are covering the same thing. I didn't say, oh no, I'm sending traffic to my competitors. I'm trying to get away from the envy and the competition and all that stuff that we were conditioned to be like in the algorithmic web, right? Where we're competing for attention. I'm trying to promote these guys. These guys are with me on Substack or Beehive or LinkedIn, and we're all just building something that we're really into, right? So they might be covering the news of AI way better than I am, and I'm okay with that, right? I'll just have my little corner where I talk about the things that really matter to me. I'm covering AI in healthcare. I just wrote a piece on AI in astronomy, how it's helping us discover signals of potential technological civilizations out there. So, I'm just covering the things in AI that truly inspire me in a given week to week. And I just wanted to share a little bit about how I'm doing it, right? So maybe you can replicate it with your own growth, with your own newsletters, with your own building in public experiments. So that's it from me. It was a pretty big breakthrough because my growth tends to be really steady and not very dramatic, right? So in my 13 months doing this, I haven't really had these moments where I'm like, whoa, I did this and this happened, right? This is like the first one. So there you go. It's not even that big of a breakthrough, but for me, in my little creator world, it definitely is.